Okay guys, so in this video what we want to do is similar to the last one. What we want to do is we want to figure out the maximum profit as well as the profit maximizing quantity given a monopolistically competitive firm. Okay, so suppose we have some firm in a monopolistically competitive market and they have this marginal cost curve, their average total cost. They have a demand for the good or service that they are selling, and they also have their marginal revenue curve. Okay, so notice that a lot of these curves actually look the same as what we had in perfect competition. The only difference here now is that our demand is actually not flat, right? Our demand is downward sloping, and therefore that differs from our marginal revenue. Okay, so if you need a refresher on this, please go back and quickly review the chapter 13 lecture slides, which is where we went into monopolistically competitive firms. But for now, let's sort of just jump into figuring out how we're going to find profit in this scenario. Okay, well, lucky for us, the rule is actually going to be the exact same, right? The rule is going to be where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. That's where the firm wants to produce until, right? So our rule is going to be the same. Marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, and that's going to give us our profit maximizing quantity of this good or service. Okay, so let's figure out where marginal cost is intersecting marginal revenue, right? Well, here's our marginal cost, and here's our marginal revenue. So it happens somewhere over here, right, at this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and find this point. And I'm going to label this the same, right? This is going to be our QPM star, right? This is going to be our profit maximizing quantity, okay? And just like we did in perfect competition, what we want to do is we want to figure out, okay, well, what's the price at this value? Well, in perfect competition, because our demand curve was actually flat, the point where our marginal cost equals to our marginal revenue, that is the price, right? But that's not the case in a monopolistically competitive market. In this market, right, in this firm, because they are monopolistically competitive, the price is actually determined by the demand curve, okay? So what we do is we continue up on this x equals q star PM point, and we go until we intersect our demand curve, okay? And that is going to be the price, okay? That is going to be the price. So I'm going to write P here on the y-axis. So this is going to be our P star, okay? Well, what do we know about profit? Well, our profit is equal to our total revenue minus our total cost, just like we had in the last video. And if you watched the last video, we came to the conclusion that our profit is actually just P minus the ATC times the quantity, right? Well, what level is the QPM intersecting our average total cost, right? Well, the average total cost at this output level, right? At this output level is right here, right? So this is going to be our average total cost, okay? And there we have it, right? Very simply, we now just figured out the area that we're looking for, and this area, let's shade it in green, is going to give us our profit, right? Not just our profit, but remember our maximum, right? Our maximum profit achievable. Okay, so here we now have our max profit. Okay, and once again, notice that the area of a rectangle is just base times height. Well, our base is this Q, right? It's just quantity. And our height is actually P minus ATC, right? It's the price minus the average total cost. And that actually checks out once again, right? With our profit. Our profit is just P, or price, that we are selling this good or service at, that is now determined by the demand curve, minus the average total cost for a single unit times quantity, right? Great. So this is how we're going to find our maximum profit, both using expressions or simply just looking at it visually.